Hi there, so I've got a video of me kicking this bike over and I've just built it and I'm sort of kicking it and fussing with it. And I was really pleased because I got it running and it's been nice. There's been lots of views and lots of nice comments on that video asking questions, so I thought I'd do this video as a bit of a walk around, tell you what I've got and what I've done to it. So this bike didn't look anything like this when I first got it. It was, I imported it from New Jersey in the States about 7 years ago. And it was a duoglide sort of 70s looking thing, and I've done a lot to it, changed it up a lot obviously. So what have I done? Well let's talk about the engine first. The bike that I imported was what I call a bit, so it was a bit of everything, which was nice in some ways because it means that it wasn't like a nice original bike that I was messing with. It was, it had already been sort of taken apart and bolted together and what have you. So I've got no qualms about messing with it. So the bottom half of the engine is actually 1953 panhead. And I think the gearbox is 1953 as well, though it's got an aftermarket cover on it. So yeah, 1953 bottom end. And the heads, I don't even know what year. I believe maybe like 70s shovel heads, let's say. I assume it's 1200, though it shifts, it goes really quick, so it might even be a 1340. But there you go. It's I call it a pan shovel, though people get really upset when I call it that, but that's what I call it. So yeah, so originally the front end, it had a wide glide front end on it with a 21-inch wheel, skinny wheels. Obviously I've changed all that. I've now got this W&W aftermarket front forks I've put a damper on it because it was bouncing around a bit. I've gone sort of reproduction, old style. Do you call them star hubs? 16-inch front and back with these nice fat Shinko white walls, because everyone should have some white walls in their life. Yeah, so that's the kind of the look that I like. That kind of like 40s American bobber style thing, for want of a better term. Really. Obviously, I hardtailed it. I got the hardtail from Lowbrow Customs, I believe. I went for one, I think it's V-twin manufacturing. I told you that long ago, I can't remember. I went for one that's got like nice sort of cast parts on it, nice cast axle plates, so it gives it that sort of look of an older bike, though the front legs at the front of the frame give it away a bit as being a more modern frame. Yeah, so I hardtailed it, 16-inch front and back. The tanks are 3.5 gallon fat bob tanks that I've sort of cut down, slimmed and customised, put that big brass plate on and mounted the speedo in there. But it's saying 0 miles because it's not actually connected up. I was in a rush to get it built for a show, so I didn't kind of quite get as far as I wanted, making that all work, though it would work if I, but I just can't be bothered to take it all back to bits again and do the work on it. See, the tank badges, obviously I've sort of based them on the sort of Harley Davidson tank badges of sort of similar style, but I've used my sort of kind of fake motorcycle company, Home Valley Customs. My dad handmade those out of brass. He spent a long time doing that. He cut them out by hand, and I could probably just do a whole video just talking about them. But they're one of my favourite bits on this bike. Tanks, yeah, S&S Super E shorty carb. Little sort of aftermarket bell mouth and plunger, whatever you want to call it. It's just got sort of the old-fashioned style ignition, coil and points and condenser. But it's been converted to 12 volts as well, so it's got, I think you call it I'm going to get this wrong now, is it a 65A generator on it? I've got a nice cycle electric regulator on there. That works really well, I'm really pleased with that. It didn't have the tins on. I've put the tins on, the primary cover. It's got a belt drive in there, and like an aftermarket clutch, which works really well. So obviously because it's got the belt on, you need lots of ventilation holes, so it's got them plenty of holes in there to keep it cool. Some little brass trick bits. What else have I got? I've got a Dark Star leather saddle bag. I don't know if you can see the brand there. Ravi's done me a really lovely, nice, thick, strong leather bag. It's got lots and lots of tools in because you need that when it breaks down. That's just for my trickle charger, don't worry about that. So I can keep it plugged in. I've just got an acid battery in there at the minute. I've had little lithium ion batteries, but the problem is what I find is the fuse will go and then it doesn't charge, and then the battery goes flat and then the battery's ruined. So it's just easy just to have an acid one in there. Got some Axel HT leads and plugs in there. What else can I show you? I've got a Bates aftermarket seat, nice and comfy, just on some little springs. The rear fender is a 1948 front fender that I've obviously turned around facing the other way, customised to make fit with some custom sort of supports, whatever you want to call them, mudguard arms. The paintwork. So the paintwork, for those that don't know, there's an LNER steam engine called the Mallard, which you can go and see in the York National Railway Museum, and that's what the colours are based on. That train is beautiful when you see the paintwork in real life. Obviously, I've copied that paintwork, but obviously this is just a motorcycle. It's not a steam engine, unfortunately. So on the train, it's like blue down the sides and it's sort of black on the front and on the top, and it's got the red pinstripe in between, and it's also got a white pinstripe. But I thought that might be a little bit too busy on this, so I've done it as you see there. The oil tank is the one that came with the bike. I don't know what it is, but I've customised that so that fits better. It sort of mounts a bit differently. That's a lovely handmade brass knob. It says Home Valley Customs all the way around. Oil tank bung, whatever you want to call it. With the Yorkshire Rose on top, obviously. Chopper Steve made me that. It's absolutely gorgeous. One of my favourite bits. Just an aftermarket kicker pedal. I broke the original cover kicking it over so much, so I've got an aftermarket one on there, and I've got some Bates kicking gears in there as well, which work really well. Floorboards for your feet. I wanted to sort of narrow them and make them sit all a bit close to the bike, but I was in a rush to get it done for a show, so they're just kind of like sort of standard aftermarket bits I got from W&W. Headlights, again, just an aftermarket headlight with a custom mounting bracket. The handlebars, originally I had some nice Speedster bars on here, which have got a much nicer sort of curved profile than these ones are on. These ones replicate that sort of style, but just don't have the internal throttles. So the reason I went for these is the internal throttle. I did have it working, and then, I don't know, I messed with it too much, and I just couldn't get it working right. And again, I was trying to rush to get it done, so I just went for these straight bars that I could just put a nice Biltwell whiskey throttle on. That's really good, works really well. And some Biltwell grips, I believe. Yeah, I think they're Biltwell grips. It's perhaps a little bit too wide, if I'm honest. I'm tempted just to chop a few inches off each end. Oh, it might be this winter's project. And that's probably about it. I'm sure I'm missing something. Little aftermarket Sparto tail light. I'm constantly bending that when I'm walking around it. Yeah. So there you go. It took me about 2 years to build it. Into pretty much what you see now. And the other thing I want to do is fire the bike up for you to show you that it's working well, he says. I did this a couple of days ago when it fired up first kick, so we shall see, but I'll prove that this is absolutely clap cold. It's totally cold. It's been sat here a couple of days. So let's see if I can fire it up. Fuel on. Now it's going to start idling quite quick, and then I will try and slow it down for you so you can hear what it's running like. But obviously it's really cold, so normally I'd run it at higher revs for a bit before it gets going. But hey ho, let's see what happens.